Hey, how you doing today?
So super good. Not
Awesome.
stressed and anxious at all. Hey, how are you?
You just sit next to me, hanging out before
Hap
I
Cool.
podcast.
Happy birthday last week, Anthony.
Oh, thank you.
I hope it was marvelous.
Okay.
Yeah, she said she hopes your birthday was marvelous
It
and happy
was.
birthday
I
last week.
slept so hard.
You did. Okay, love you.
Awesome.
Awesome. I love your top. That's super cute.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I stole it from my daughter's closet. Yours as well.
Yeah, I know. Anthony picked this out for me at a I don't know, TJ Maxx or one of those type
I
of
was gonna
stores,
say
whatever.
a
But
store.
totally, I think influenced by the fact that you always say like Cody picks your shirt. I was like, you got to pick me some shirts. Granted, this wasn't necessarily like a podcast shirt. I don't think it's actually pretty plain in the front, but
It's both. It's
in the
cute. I
back
like it.
it's pretty open though. Like it's cute.
I want to
Like
see.
I'm not
I
okay,
don't know if you can turn around and
not like
the booth.
great,
Oh,
but
cute.
you
I
see,
like it. Yes,
yeah.
love it.
So it's just like a cute. I don't know, cute.
Well, I have Cody pick out my stuff a lot because I don't I never really grew up caring about fashion and like clothes
Yeah,
and things. And so what I think is really cute is like a 6-year-old at Walmart wearing their mom's high heels and like you know what I mean? It's
yeah, yeah. Well, because
I have mine's my own.
you weren't like not to say you weren't allowed, but like I didn't think
I
like,
didn't allow
I
myself.
didn't
My
allow
parents would
myself
have
to
been,
be,
yeah.
yeah, like, and I actually judged other girls really harshly who were and it's because I wanted it, I think, but didn't know that's what I wanted. I just knew that they were
Yeah,
doing this thing that was like frowned upon, you know,
yeah.
like
And
they're
I
doing
would
this thing.
probably, yeah, and I would also probably be in sweatshirts a lot more often than anything.
Hmm. Well, yeah, and I
Like,
mean, I think it's good to be comfortable too. Like
oh,
I,
absolutely it is. But it's good to know when to wear a sweatshirt and when,
yeah,
dress it up a little. And
oh
I
for
would wear
sure.
sweatshirts to like church and to like, you know what I mean? It's just like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You were totally cool with the sister wives look. You rocked it. And just kidding.
the sister wives
You were
look. Is that what
never,
you said?
no, you were
No,
never really
I
sister
agree.
wives. But
I remember friends asking me why I'm gonna move my light. Why I dressed like
why
my
are you
12-year-old
gonna do
sister.
it? No, yeah, I remember that too. And not that I always felt like I kind of did too, but I just was always dressing up in costumes, I guess. So I didn't know what I actually dressed like.
Do you think we dressed up in costumes so much because of that? Like, uh,
Desire to be able to wear something different than we were. Yeah, probably.
yes.
I
Yeah, I
bet.
think so. Because we were in costumes a lot and it was fun. And I still
Uh-huh.
would do it now.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Because it's fun. Like, why do kids play dress up? Because it's fun. Have you
hmm
tried it?
it's awesome. It's
Yeah.
awesome. I go down the Halloween aisle now and I'm like, ooh,
Uh-huh.
I could have some fun here. It used to be one of my dreams when I was younger to like there's like a natural disaster outside and I get trapped inside like a Walmart or some sort of like department store where
Okay.
there's a whole bunch of different stuff and
Uh-huh.
like, you know, set up my own little area with whatever foods were there and whatever clothes were there and what, just
I think I've kind of had thought processes like that
yeah,
before. Like, yeah.
way too many
Sam's
of my
Club would be
thoughts.
the best because, like just such a variety, large
Yes,
amounts.
exactly. I think way too many of my weird fantasy dreams when I was younger had to do with getting stuck random places, like getting stuck for days at a time at school with everybody at school and what that would look like. And like I
Yeah.
used, I used to write stories all about getting
Maybe you
stuck
got in your past life, you got
places.
stuck in something. So you had
I'm sure I
a
was stuck a
fear of
lot.
it or something.
I don't know. It always sounded fun though. I'd like figure out
Oh,
how I would make
it
my own
wasn't a
little
negative even in
place.
your dreams?
No, it
Oh,
was
that's
fun.
cool.
Yeah. So I don't know why.
Mm.
I'm just weird. I'm a
No,
weird
I
kid.
like it. I don't
Uh,
remember having like tons of dreams. I still don't dream a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't like I wish I did. I wish I dreamt more. Or I bet I dream, but I
Excuse
like
me.
don't remember a lot of them. Like
Yeah.
it's hit or miss. they're either
Yeah.
like something that you wouldn't want to happening that you're having to deal with, where it's like, why the hell are you doing
Yeah.
that to me, mind? Like that was not cool.
Right. I am constantly amazed. I'm like, brain, you're coming up with these stories. Why are you surprised by them? Like, what? How? How?
um, oh god.
I don't
Anyways,
know.
okay,
I do
so
not know. Hi,
welcome
welcome back.
back to our little bit bits. Um,
Indeed.
we are gonna, I guess, since I hijacked last week, you can
Oh,
do
um,
this week because it was your idea. I like it.
you have to excuse the little cough. I'll probably be going. It's the black lung. I've
You've
got the
had
black
that
lung.
going on for a while, I've noticed. Have you like went to a
Yeah.
doctor or anything? Made sure you don't have like some sort of postnasal drip or I don't
No,
know.
and I usually get like one or two colds a year, and then the cough just like lingers. It's a
Oh,
family trait.
yeah. I-
Yeah.
have you ever do you take allergy meds?
Hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, I take. Yeah, I didn't have allergies till after I had kids, and then it's like, just kidding, you do.
Yeah,
So
I didn't have allergies, so I moved to Indiana. And I was told it was because in Indiana, it's the Ohio Lakes region and things grow
yeah.
there before anywhere else in the world. I don't know if that's true or not, but now that I live in Florida and I've had allergies in I think everywhere now, this is actually gonna have to be a whole podcast topic because
Okay, let's do it.
I just talked to a girl at an appointment that I went to who was just talking about how the allergies are so bad and she started researching it because she's from Iceland and she moved
Yeah.
here and she said I went down a rabbit hole and was just talking about how all the trees are planted male so there's not fruit so it doesn't mess up the produce industry and stuff like that but then
Oh,
there's an
really?
abundance of pollen and it's not just that there were just all these
Ah,
avenues so I have her sending me some stuff and I even asked her if she would come podcast with us she said
sweet. Let's do it.
she's not really there yet. She's just gonna watch us,
Hmm.
but she said she'll like
Hi.
come up with I don't know, maybe some like ideas because she likes to go down rabbit holes and stuff. But we definitely
Us
have to do
too.
that one. You should look into it too. I'm just getting into it, but it's another thing to make you mad. I'm sorry. It is, but it's
It's
good to
like, dang
be
it.
aware,
Yeah,
I guess, right? Okay.
absolutely.
Anyways,
I just thought it
so
was because I was like in farm country now. Like I grew up not really in the city, but
I'm sure
I'm
that's a factor
surrounded by
too.
fields now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, allergies have always
Yeah.
existed. It's not like it's a totally man-made thing. It's just that maybe we're making things worse
It's
because
making
all
it
we
worse.
ever think about is profits instead of just thinking about what's actually the smart thing to do here, like as a
Yeah.
society. So
Yeah.
I did it again. We were just
Did what?
starting. Well, like you were gonna
No.
start the
Today's
podcast.
topic is, yeah, today's topic is I just kind of wanted to talk about a whole plethora of things. I just like talking with you, so that's good.
Okay, okay.
So
That
if
wasn't
that
one of my
works,
topics though, because so I think I take things real literally. You said like both of us
okay.
pick like a few topics. So
Yeah,
for me, a few is three. So I picked three topics. I was like, okay,
perfect.
these are my
You did exactly right.
yeah, but that
I'm
first
like,
one
I'll
was
pick a
not one of
few.
them. Although it could
That's
be.
okay. No, I'm like, let's pick a couple, and then I start going down and just writing a whole bunch of crap, and
Hmm.
I don't even have like specific topics. I just have like these are things that I found interesting. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. I like it.
awesome.
So this
Yes.
is just like we're just hanging out on the back porch and shooting the breeze and talking about shit.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
If that works for you, because
Always. I mean, the only I pick topics just because I think it's
just have
fun,
something to
but
talk about.
also I just like talking, period. I've decided like I really just like talking a lot. Like and I'm accepting it about myself. Like
I I like it as well.
I do realize that I have to learn to like, that people don't want it all the time and that's fine because everybody has their own like what their comfort level is and I don't want to
That's
be
what the
like
pause button is for, because we can just talk all we want, and if people don't like it, they can shut it off.
true, true in this setting. In this setting.
Yes. In
Unfortunately,
public,
I'm
they're
not
like,
always in this
pause.
setting.
Yeah.
Like I'll be just having a casual in between patients like discussion with my boss and something will trigger me and I'll just start talking and she's just like, "Well, that's awesome. So back to your patient." And I'm like, "Oh, like
I just took us
uh,
way far
yeah,
off.
yeah." I
Yep.
mean, no, it's always just fun because she's really fun to talk to, you know? Like, we may
Mhm.
have to have her on someday too, just because she's one of those that you can banter with. It's
Yeah.
so freaking nice having, the person who I report to at work be someone who is so comfortable to, like, talk to.
Uh-huh.
It's really awesome.
Easy, just
Yeah.
easy.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I think all jobs should have that. If I didn't I mean,
Mhm.
anyways, I didn't wanna talk about jobs today, so I'm not picking that as a topic.
I can talk about jobs today. I don't care. My thing that I love about this podcast is that, like, I don't know if you remember, but I had this like almost crippling stage fright kind of thing where I didn't like talking in front of people and I didn't like
Mhm.
performing in front of people and I didn't like anything. But here it's just me and you talking, and I guess if anybody else wants to listen in, they can. But it's just us talking, so
Yeah, yeah.
that's kind of fun.
No, I totally get that. I remember,
Yeah.
when I witnessed that a little when you were going for Miss Payson,
Oh yeah,
and you
that
were
hit.
all like and do you
Yep.
remember how I remembered it though?
No.
So, like, cause you remember it as you, like, messing up, and it's, like, this
Yeah.
embarrassing thing or whatever, and I remembered how you started over, and how it was so good, and how you recognized that, like, that just wasn't going well, so instead of just
Yeah.
struggling through it, you said, "Can I please restart?" And then it was awesome. So, you, like,
Well,
focused
thank you.
on the wrong part, but,
Well, thank you.
but that's what we do as people, we pick ourselves
Yeah.
apart. Yeah, I mean.
Well, when I get in front of people, it's just like paralyzing.
Mhm.
So that's kind, I don't know. That was my goal with even doing that whole pageant, was I'm like, I got to get through this and I can make it through this. And we could do a whole nother podcast on this kind of stuff too, because
Mm.
um I have different views on it now. Back then I thought, if I can push through it and if I can make myself do it and if I can do
Mhm.
things like this, then eventually it'll get easier and I won't have this anymore.
Yeah.
And really what I should have been doing is like, maybe this is just a little part of you and it's okay. And,
Mhm.
go do what you love, but maybe this part's not a part of it. And
Yeah.
that's okay. Because
Yeah,
ever since
yeah.
I've thought of that, it feels a lot better. And I'm like, oh, well, it's fine.
Yeah.
Not all of
Do
us have to
you
be
do you love
performers.
that you have the memories and that you pushed yourself some when you were young to try
Yeah,
something
of
though? Yeah, because I would
course.
say there are times I did things that granted, as soon as I do something, I just get excited to be there. I'm like a puppy dog. I'm like, "Are we playing?" "Yeah,
Let's
yeah."
play.
Yeah. I'm in on
Yeah.
whatever, but, um, I don't know where I was
Yeah.
going with that. Yeah.
Well, so no, you are a natural performer. Like you can do it and have fun and
Um,
you bring people into
you
it.
know
And
what's funny? I'm not. I'm really not.
to me, you are.
No, so
I
no.
have videos of us dancing in my living room that would say otherwise.
That's because nobody was there, and I'm doing and it's just, like, fun and stuff like that, and
Hmm.
now I really don't mind people watching, but, like, I tried to do acting and stuff back then because I think I knew I wanted it, but
Yeah.
I had never, like, um, just been good at it, like, I would go even take acting courses and stuff, and I would feel so, like, stupid. You know?
Yeah, I know what
Like,
you
it
mean.
just didn't feel real, and I'm like, "I can perform, I
Hmm.
can do it, but I'm not very good at being scripted." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think
On
because I felt.
command.
Yeah, yeah, and I never really learned it or anything either because I never tried to develop
Mhm.
it because it didn't feel like a reality, I guess, so, I don't
Yeah.
know. I've always kind of been a realist and, like, I would talk myself out of things because of what's the reality in this for you, and I've always been kind of like, I don't know, just a little too in the
Too
logical
real.
and yeah, like Anthony will always take something to the fantasy and I will always have like go to where what it means in reality. And then he'll be like, "All right, I was just trying to talk about superheroes, but yeah, the world is broken." Oh, you froze.
No.
Oh, you're back. Hopefully.
Okay, good. I thought if I move enough, it'll unfreeze.
Did you hear me at all?
Yeah, I totally did.
Oh, okay, good. So yeah.
I loved that. I loved the superheroes. I just, if you want to turn it into a life lesson, I guess you could, but
Oh, I'm working on not doing that as much because I'm like, I'm
yeah.
happy about it. But everybody else is like, when they're having a life lesson, they're a little less
Hmm.
excited that I'm like, well, speaking my thoughts at the.
I do that with my kids. Like my daughter will come up and like tell a joke or something,
Mhm.
and then like 10 minutes later she's like, Mom, I didn't mean for this to turn into a lecture. I just wanted to tell a joke."
Oh my
Like
god, Bella does it too, and I love it, and so does Haley. I love that they'll call me on it, and then I'll get the joke, and I'm like, "Haha, that's funny," and I'm like, "But you know, I have to teach you shit because that's my job."
yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm like, you know, you put the quarter in, you gotta let it play. You chose to talk to me. We're gonna have a conversation.
Yes, I like that. Sorry.
Um,
You started this. You started this.
so I've been kind of having a realization lately that, and I don't even know if it's a realization. After our last podcast, talking about like superpowers from like um things that you should be medicated for. And
Oh
looking
yeah.
back, I'm like self-diagnosing myself with like being like literally on the autism spectrum. But in the sense, you know,
Ooh.
with that, like I used to have like I taste everything I smell. Like I have a really hyperactive senses. So I spit all the time as a kid. I used to have rashes. Like it was embarrassing. You know what I mean? Like I had all these different ticks and things. So and I um learned to mask a lot of things just because like you need to kind of fit into like
Social
a
norm.
societal norm, yeah, and so in that
Hmm.
way I was able to maybe like not truly autistic then, but just I still suffer with those things. I still smell what I taste. It legitimately is a thing. It is a part of me that I had to
Yeah.
learn to like, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with having overcome those because that was good for me. However, I always was a talker, and I was so like it bothered people enough that it was a running joke, and they always had nicknames and stuff like that, or like the news reporter and stuff, enough to where it got me embarrassed to talk. Like I always like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think I just even though I
Like if
liked
people are
it,
gonna
the
point it
only
out.
thing that I would do is make jokes. So I talked a lot, but it was always like how can I make this funny? Because I couldn't have the serious conversations because that, you know, was scary for other reasons as well. But like
Yeah.
I would I don't know. Like I'm like I think that's why I never actually could go into something like acting because like I had this aspect of me which is that I do really like have an overactive mind, I feel like. And I love it's like I speak my thoughts and that's the first time I'm hearing them sometimes. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking to
Hmm.
myself just as much as it's like I talk out loud. It's like uh
It's like when you dream, your brain is surprised by what's coming out of your mouth because it's like,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
I never thought of that. Wait, I must have because it's me. But
I don't know, but I'm like, I'm really glad that um and who knows, maybe medicine would have helped me. I've been able to function better,
yeah,
but I was able to kind of like eventually I think fit in enough, but I don't know, I just always
oh,
had those little
absolutely.
I still my kids call me crazy because like if you touch my straw, you've ruined my drink. Like I
Uh-huh.
have and I'm like, "It's okay, I get it, like, I will give you my drink or whatever, but, like, don't start being an asshole about it, like, mess with me a couple times and then, because you don't get it, I really can't drink it."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Um, actually, this once again for the third time this time, we could do a whole podcast on this. But
So this is just us brainstorming podcast ideas.
I guess so. But no, I had that thought about I don't know, 8 months ago to a year ago. Um, that I might have been on the like autism spectrum. And I think maybe a lot of people have these ideas. I was
Yeah,
never diagnosed or anything, but I
yeah.
started like reading books and getting in on it. And like for real, because I'm like, there's just something off about my brain. And like, it doesn't connect with the way other people's brains are working. Right.
Uh-huh,
And anyway, there is a ton of overlap in women's being diagnosed with being on the autism spectrum and ADHD.
mhm,
I mean, the symptoms of a lot of it are just so similar. And because women are so good at masking, because it's just like inherent, it's what we do,
mhm,
um, a lot of it goes undiagnosed until after you have kids or until you're an adult. Because,
yeah.
I mean, they're just being flooded with
You
women that
know
are now like, you know what? they're
And
on the spectrum or they have
sometimes going
ADHD.
undiagnosed is can be a good thing though, because you're
Mhm.
like, I think that like a lot of it is just when you think differently than the typical, then it's
Mhm.
deemed something's wrong. And it's like thinking
Maybe not so
differently or
much.
having like is not maybe as like, you know.
Maybe it's not a
So
disorder,
so
it's just
I'm sure
different.
I have those too, but I'm also not gonna like seek anything
Yep.
with it. I think knowledge is power for me. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And
Yep.
yeah.
So what I've done with it, like I'm not to the point where I want to go run out and get a diagnosis either,
Yeah.
but I'm like I can look at the information that's presented and see what's helped other people and see what like the things that do click for me, whether
Mhm.
or not I have a diagnosis, and be like, okay, this helps this problem that I know that I have. Like
Mhm.
I did it with my daughter the other night. We went on this awesome sunset boat ride. It was so cool.
That's
And we had a
awesome.
great time, and she brought her little friend with her, and we were just having the best time.
Do your
And
kids
then as
have a
we were getting
boat?
no,
Oh,
no, it was a friend's boat.
still. Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to no,
I got
no.
real
We don't
excited.
we do not have a
Anyways,
boat. No, someone very kindly took my family on a boat ride.
nice.
And so we had this amazing time, and we're getting off the boat, and somebody said something to my daughter that just kind of ticked her off just a little bit. I was
Okay. Can I
spoiler alert,
know? Can I
it
know?
was me. Yeah, spoiler alert, it was me.
Oh.
And I said, "No, you can't jump in the water. You don't have your swimsuit on. It's a little bit cold." It was like a chilly September night, and
Yeah.
it was too late, and I'm like, "We're not getting in the water today."
Yeah.
That's all I said. And man, her mood just went like down, right?
Mhm.
And I have been there. Like it's not like that should really crush your day, but for some reason that
Getting
downward
turned
spirals
down,
you.
yeah. You had set an
Yeah.
expectation and what you wanted in your head too, and someone just told you you can't do the thing you wanna do, even
Mhm.
though the only is that there'll be a mess or something, you know what I mean? Like, it's not gonna hurt or so it's hard
Yeah.
to accept it even if it is the rational thing to do.
Yep. And so I just sat her down, and after a lot of back and forth and like butting heads and like, hey, you shouldn't do this. And anyway, I'm finally like, you know what? Our brains work really similarly. And sometimes this happens to me. And what happens is like one small thing happens and you tank. And instead of letting it tank your whole night and like ruining your mood and everybody else's mood, um, you have to get distracted. That's the only thing that'll work. You just need some distraction. And so we found a little distraction, like she watched a little video or something, and then she was fine. And I'm like, man,
Awesome.
if I'd have had that,
Yes.
like, if I'd have understood that a long time ago, instead of being like,
Yeah.
no, this is somebody else's fault. I'm in a
Right.
pissy mood, and it certainly can't be me because,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I
No,
don't.
but it's
Does
so
that make sense? Am I
awesome.
just
Yeah,
rambling?
no, 100% makes sense, and I love it, and
Mhm.
I try to be the same way with my kids. I think, like, that's what's gonna help them be better is for us to find
Mhm.
our weaknesses or and that we see in them or we had and then help them be better than us or whatever,
Oh man,
you know?
yeah, that is. I think that's every parent's hope. Is just go take whatever information you can get and be better than I am or was or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, we could, like I said, I can send you all sorts of information. We can do a whole podcast on
Okay. All right. You wanna know
stuff.
my,
Neuro.
my 3 topics?
Yes, please.
The
Let's get to talking.
the first one was UFOs.
Nice. Okay.
So
Awesome. Do you have?
what spurred my thinking is just that I've seen quite a
Yeah.
few like TikToks where it's been like supposedly there were UFOs over Ukraine. They're like, why aren't people talking about this? And
Yeah.
things. Oh yeah, like I see stuff seemingly like often, and I'm like, I have no reason not to believe it. I mean, the government has said there are UFOs, whether that means it's coming from extraterrestrial or that they just don't know who's created it
It's
or
just
what.
unidentified flying
I
object, whether
yeah,
it's
exactly. I don't know exactly what that means, but also I'm like, like they probably don't even want to mess with us. They're probably just like observing, like, look at how archaic these people are. They
yeah. It's probably like advanced civilization looking at us like we look at like the untouched Amazonian tribes. Like, whoa, look at him.
Yes, yes, don't disturb them, you're not allowed to interact.
You're not allowed to touch
You
them.
could
Yeah,
just kinda go and see.
they could eat you. Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
And we probably would. We would
uh,
we would do something.
I
Um,
don't know.
I heard so sometimes we'll listen to like old other podcasts. We were listening to one from Joe Rogan, and
Yeah.
they were going off about how UFOs might be like us from the future, just watching, being able to watch and observe and to,
Yeah,
I don't
they
know.
came back to
I'm
help
like, that's an
set us on the
interesting
right
idea.
path, maybe. You're
Or
like,
just to observe, like you were saying, like
yeah.
this is a history lesson. Like
Oh,
this is
they
this
wanted to
is
go
why
back in
we
time
died
and see
out.
if they got it right or something? Like, what
I don't
actually
know. Or just
happened here?
observe. Like if I could go back 100, 200, however many 100 years ago and just observe, I would. Like I wouldn't want to touch
Yeah.
anything. I wouldn't want to do anything, but like just kidding.
I
I
might
would mess
wanna
with a
do a
lot of
few
stuff.
things.
Who am I kidding? I would mess with stuff. I
You're like, "I wanna play."
want to do this. Go
Uh,
go back to like the witch trials with my cell phone and be like,
and
I'll
a
show you a
freaking
witch.
gun. Just kidding. I could never actually
Oh,
pull the trigger is the problem,
no.
but they burned women because they were witches when they
Clearly
spoke
we're not
too
witches.
much or, yeah, when that's not even
Too
reality.
too
Like,
pretty or
anything
had a
anything
recipe that was too good or
that
like
they were
seriously.
worried would offset the balance. And now there really are so many guys that I keep seeing from different, like, areas saying things about how we, like, need to roll back women's rights, how, like, I just saw one today. I will have to find this. I'll send it to you. We could do a whole nother podcast on this again. But, like,
Hmm.
I know I can't be the majority. It can't be the majority. You know what I mean? I have to tell myself
Oh,
that, probably. But there's just too many people thinking that way. That's like,
why is
how
this a thing again?
how are we have so much information, and like, don't you see us all as humans yet? Like,
Yeah.
we don't need your
Well,
hierarchy. Just let
yeah.
us
I think what
be.
they're thinking of is like a simplistic view of what they deem to be a better time.
Yeah,
Because
exactly. And we've talked about this before, the 1950s.
Mhm. Yeah,
That was great,
yeah,
but that was because the economy worked. It doesn't have to be
mhm,
women in the house, you know? You don't have to go back to
yeah.
every aspect of that. We can all still have rights and be like, "Oh, maybe our economy is shot and
Right,
money's
maybe.
stupid."
Right. I think we're slipping back into more of a like the structure it was when there were whole families working in factories for their daily bread basically and not being able to get ahead
Mhm. Oh,
and then you had minimum wage come in and things became a little better and like
mhm,
hey, listen, if we're going to have a working class, we need to at least give them the ability to make a living and to have hope. Like
mhm.
that's huge. So I think there needs to anyway, there
I
needs
don't
to be a
know.
little something something happen.
There needs to be
But
a whole hell of a lot more than a little something something.
yeah. 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 Sometimes we do need a boot in the arse from,
Yeah, sometimes we just need to
as a
be able to,
society.
like, everything we do, businesses, they do reorganizations, like, all these things, they look and say, "Hey, is this working?" And then they're like, "Let's fix this to how it works." And we're just like,
Yeah.
"No, we got it right
This
back
was the
then.
perfect society
We
from the
got it
beginning. Don't touch
perfect.
it.
We said
Yeah.
things that were good, and they were good and still are good, but didn't include everybody because everybody wasn't
Yeah.
part of the conversation."
Yeah.
So,
Let's do it again, but better. Isn't that like the goal of life? Like I
yes.
was just saying about my kids. I hope my kids get it better than we have it now.
Yes, I hope they have a
Let's hope for
earth to
good things.
freaking do it better with, you know? I hope that,
Hmm.
I don't
We
know.
haven't screwed it up that bad.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sometimes I
Amen.
think the earth is trying to get rid of us like we're a parasite. I mean, because we are.
Yeah, we probably are.
We take, we don't give back. Well, I think we are by definition a parasite.
In my lost in Emily's brain
Uh-huh.
conversations that I have with myself, I've wondered if like we were just on some kind of a cell in some other like
Oh, yeah.
being's body.
Yeah.
And if we were, then yeah, we probably are the cancer that's growing weird crap on the outside of it. Like why? Anyway, not that I would want to get rid of us. I think we're productive and awesome.
No.
But yeah, if you look at us, there's the
Yeah.
natural cell is the earth, and then
Uh-huh.
there's the weird crap that grows on the outside. Oh wait, that's us. So
Oh.
I don't know. But that would explain to me the expansion of the universe because whatever we're inside of is growing. And there's
Okay.
there's a lot
There
here.
you
I
go.
could sound really crazy right now, but
That's all
I
right.
like
I like
I
crazy.
like thinking thoughts. Yeah,
I also like thinking thoughts.
that's
Okay.
good.
My next one was this
Mhm.
wheelchair story that I just thought I might want to tell you because I saw a
'Kay.
TikTok. I thought about sharing the TikTok, but then I'm like, it's a pretty long
I think you
one.
might
So
have because I watched it.
the
Keep
wheelchair
going.
one. Okay, so you watched it, so that we can talk about that
Mhm.
because, um,
Yes.
okay, so fill me in where I mess up then. There's
Okay.
this girl who is at a friend's house hanging out. She's on the third level, I believe. Doesn't really matter, but not on the first level. And there it's pretty late at night. Like she'll probably need to be getting going soon. And
And
then
she's in a wheelchair,
and she's
right?
in a
No
wheelchair,
legs.
which is a big part of the story. And
Yeah.
the fire alarm goes off and everybody's like running out and freaking out, but she obviously can't take the stairs, so she goes to take the elevator and the elevators aren't working because I guess in a fire alarm the elevators just don't work. Like it's not just
Yeah.
take the stairs, it's because they stop working. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
um and
Yeah, they don't want
so
you in the elevator when
yeah,
there's a fire.
which makes sense, but she
Unless you can't get
so
down.
exactly. um so they send someone down to be like, hey, is this for real or do we need to carry her down the stairs right now, like, or can we leave her there? And so I guess she could stay there, but it's getting close to the time when she needs to leave and her car's parked in a place where you can only have it till a certain hour. So she calls down, like, actually I think was talking to the police or trying to get somebody to move her car or something like that. And they went
She got her
and
friend,
it
yeah.
was already booted, right? Her
Mhm.
car is booted. So then she calls the tow truck company or whatever because I think that they even tried to explain it to him right there on the ground, like, hey, she's in a wheelchair. Like he's still there. He still could have taken the boot off at this point in time. So like
Mhm.
that nothing's really been done. And they say, hey, this is what happened, and he's just like, no exceptions. So he boots it and leaves. And then she's calling and talking to the tow company or whatever and telling her
Mhm.
plight and everything and saying, hey, like this is like I literally I am still right now stuck because the when it came back
Yeah.
on and they got it fixed, the elevators. So she ended up having to sleep at this place, like, and was I guess up talking to people until like 3 a.m. because she was still trying to be able to leave and go home. But just the same were like no exceptions. So and she even tried to get the cops involved, and the cops even called over and then they called back and said, I guess there's nothing we could do about it.
So
So
dumb.
yeah, so I'm just like, I felt like that story needed to be shared more because I was like,
Mm.
if you do, the whole empathy, like you can't really understand people's. I didn't even know that was a
Yeah.
plight someone could be stuck in. You know what I mean? I'd never thought had
Yeah.
that thought process, and I was like, do we have a plan in place? Like that freaking that sucks. That's scary. Like we have to,
Yeah.
I don't know, do something
Well,
like
first of all, there
what's
needs to be some kind of a plan in place to get people who are handicapped out of high-rise apartments when the elevators are down. You can't
yeah.
just count on the
And
elevators.
maybe that should be something that people commonly know so that people are aware and taking action as soon as you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if that commonly happens, all we have is this sign that says use stairs in case of fire. It
Yeah.
doesn't say this will be completely out of order, you know.
Mhm.
You suck if you have any kind of disability and can't go down. Sorry about you.
Sucks to be you. You're
Yeah.
a casualty. Yeah.
So
Seemed
I
quite
don't know.
enough.
I felt like that needed to be repeated because I thought
Yeah.
that really sucks.
It does light a fire in you. You're like, okay, if what I did was wrong enough to be punished with a boot on my car that I have to pay for to
Oh yeah, she did end up
get out of
having to
it.
pay for it.
Yeah, she did. Tell me what I could have done differently. Like,
Yeah, well, and
what could
also
I have done
have we
differently?
lost the ability to use common sense? Like, was that man so like? Does his business literally say there are no exceptions? Are we like so are our overlords so harsh that they won't even allow people to use common sense, or have we lost
Yeah.
common sense, or what? Because I'm like, at any point there were lots of points in time when they could have said, "Hey, this is an emergency situation. You cannot do this. Like,
Yeah.
in cases of emergency, rules change in all
And I'm
these other
sure,
instances. And
yeah.
now, I mean, and I hope because she's getting her story out there that they're gonna do something and say like, hey, to the Toka. I mean, I know I wouldn't give them my business anymore. But
Yeah,
like, I don't know.
absolutely.
I felt like they need to wake the fuck up.
At what point have we lost the humanity to say, hey, this
Yeah,
person in a wheelchair could not get down here. No possible
exactly.
way.
Like, why
And
are
I'm
the
sure,
rules there? There's a reason the rules are there. And if
mhm,
whatever is happening is outside of someone's control or not actually like impinging on someone's like their danger for someone or something like it just seems like there should be a gray line of like, you know what I mean, intent
yeah,
and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
yeah. I'm sure as tow truck drivers, they get all sorts of excuses. They hear every excuse under the sun, and it probably gets so old, which is what happens when you are
Yeah.
in a profession where you
I mean,
prey
if
on
that
people
were
like that.
happening with
But
me, I feel like I would just ask for proof or something. If I started feeling like I was
yeah,
being, I wouldn't have a
show me your
problem
no
being.
legs.
No,
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 I'm
no.
just
Be
kidding.
like, we have cell phones. Be like, a lot of people give me a lot of excuses, and there's a reason why we have the rules in place. So,
Yeah,
you're not supposed to be here. But yes, can I see a picture of her? Okay, now that I know that you were definitely telling the truth. You know what I mean? Just use your brain. And I get it that somebody
or
might make an excuse, but that doesn't negate you of the need to like care about people and I don't know, try to help when you can help instead of automatically
yeah.
assuming the worst of people.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, that one was frustrating. That was
Yeah.
really
So
frustrating.
anyways,
If I
I
was her, I
wish
would
I
have
would
been
have
ticked.
wrote down her name or something, but
I could
sorry.
probably find it and send
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
and you
Oh,
can
I
put it
definitely could. Yeah.
in the link below. But yeah, that was
Oh
a
yeah, like and subscribe if you like are
like
watching still. If anybody's watching still, please. Maybe even
I was
comment because that's what
we
the
like
people
comments.
who I watch on YouTube say. So apparently that's what we should do for trying to grow this. Anyways.
Um, I was watching little videos of my kid. Like I was going through my old Google photos,
Mm-hmm.
and I came across like the old videos my daughters used to make of a fake YouTube channel and all of
Mm,
the.
I got some of those.
Hang on one second.
That's all right. They can
What?
come in.
He's covered from head to toe in chocolate ice cream. Huh?
Really?
Well, like just all over the face.
Oh, I like.
Oh yeah.
And then they said Mom won't want it, so they just threw them down.
No, they didn't. I
Well, they said they were.
Okay, they won't. But thank you so much. Okay, hop on out. I love you a lot. Happy birthday yesterday.
Love you,
Happy
Mom.
birthday
Love you
yesterday.
too. It was his birthday yesterday.
Awesome.
He's so fun. So the day before his birthday,
Uh-huh.
he was in bed with me and my husband, and he woke up and I said, "Hey, it's your last day being 5." And he gets a surprised look on his face, and he's like, "I gotta go see Cooper, who's my 16-year-old son."
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, "Why do you have to go see Cooper?" He said, "I gotta get him to throw me around before I'm too big." So
Um,
anyway,
Haley at one
so
point in time, I can't remember which age it was where she was aging up, but
yeah,
the next day, you say that. So do you feel any different or whatever? I don't remember who
yeah.
asked her, but she was like, everything looks a little smaller. Okay.
I love that. I love kids. So I
Oh.
used to make a little book of all the funny things my kids would say, and there's just comedy gold all throughout the whole thing. And I don't know if it's comedy gold for everybody, but it's definitely for me.
Oh
Like
yeah, the family
I
books
love it
are
so
so
much.
fun. Haley and one of her little friends, they made the best friend rule book. And we kept it somewhere, but for a while
Sweet.
it was like all through I believe second grade and then going into third grade. And it was
Uh-huh.
Haley and Kinsey, they were the two main, and occasionally other people would like kind of get I think
A little add-on.
Emma kind of joined. She started having some input, but it was just this handmade best friend, and it is the funniest. Like I should read it
That
to you
sounds
one
delightful.
day.
We should have made one.
Oh my God. I mean, and for second graders, like the spelling, it's just the funniest freaking stuff, like
And what was
about
important
what it means to
and
be a
like super
friend,
important.
you know?
Yeah. Right? If you're
Oh,
gonna be a friend, there are rules to
I
this.
gotta find this. It is comedy gold. And I would love to hear we should do that one too, just like a kid say the
Okay.
darndest things. Because
Yes.
I have some written down some places. Some pop up as like memories because I like put it as my status of the day, like on Facebook. Like
Yes.
yeah, like one time Bella said something like something about she doesn't like wishing on stars anymore because every time she wishes for something it never comes true, and I was like, what do you wish for?
Mhm.
And she said, usually ice cream. And I was like, well, if you just tell me, baby, I can make this wish
Yeah.
come true.
Say the wish out
But you
loud. Usually
Well,
ice cream. She
uh-huh.
is a girl after my own heart, man. That's like it's my wish too, always. And I've passed it on to my son.
Oh yeah.
Like every time I pick my 6-year-old up from kindergarten, we
Mm-hmm.
come home right as my son is finishing up lunch. He'll come home for lunch and then go back to
Okay.
school.
Hmm.
And he's usually there with like a bowl of cereal and some ice cream. And I'm
Oh,
like,
I was gonna say my thing is
I've raised you
cereal.
well. Hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you
Many of
have
our
any
college
like
meals, huh?
many of our college meals?
Oh, many of our college meals were cereal. That's all.
Yeah, they were. Did you have any specific topics that you were like planning to hit on?
I wrote like 10 of them. One of them was the ADHD autism thing that we talked about. So way to
Okay.
hit on that one. Yeah.
I didn't expect to get that one all like.
Right off the bat.
We probably
No.
should have.
Yeah. And I don't know, I was hitting on like paranoia culture for girls just because yesterday my daughter had like a little activity day that she was going to. She's
Hmm.
8.
Okay.
And so we pull up to this church where it was at, and she didn't want to go in because she was a little bit early. So
Hmm.
we just parked outside. But there was this group of girls that was standing waiting for the doors to open as well. And because we parked there, they got all of a sudden super uneasy and like started moving away from it and like looking at us really funny, like I was some sort of like kidnapper.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, oh, that's me. I do that. Like,
Yeah,
so I
well,
start.
we were raised to do that. And it
Mhm,
sucks, but then you hear things that happen and you're like, oh God, that's why we do that. You
mhm.
know, like I wish that
Yeah,
wasn't true.
but we
Um,
really do.
have
I told
you
my daughter, I'm like, just poke your head out the window and like act like you're looking at something up in the tree so they know that, you're non-threatening.
Oh, that's cute. Are
So
you aware at all of like what's going on um in Iran, I believe,
what specific thing?
where they're protesting. There was a girl killed by the morality police last
Mhm.
week, essentially because she was showing her hair
Really?
and they were like slamming her head into things, and then she like yeah, so they're going way overkill, and people are protesting obviously because she wasn't wearing a hijab,
Good job.
I
See,
think. I don't
that's what I see when they're like, we need to take away women's rights again. We
Uh-huh.
need to go back.
Exactly.
I'm
Because
like,
the
how
point
far do
of
we
the
want to go
more
back?
yeah,
Because
the point of the morality police is because you're being protected because it's men who are, you need to protect yourself. You're precious as a woman. You need to protect, you know what I mean? And so it's like, so the morality police who is wants you to do that to protect you from men, who is men, beat the shit out of you. Like, you not fucking get that? And like your brain is so broken that you think that's what's going to protect them, and then you actually attack them for not. No, what's going to protect them is you stop thinking that you are above them and seeing them as
you
human
own
beings and
them. Yeah.
allowing them to just be whatever they are, and getting over yourself. Like, I think we all judge ourselves like universally, and this is kind of like going off topic, but it's on topic for me in my head. So
Yeah. No, that
universally
works.
we like um fuck, I interrupted myself and now I can't remember what I was going to say. It's going to come back to me. What were
Well,
we
I
talking
think
about?
the morality police and things. I think being able to self-regulate and self-judge and worry about yourself. And I think it's a lot easier for me to do that now. Like think just about myself and be like, okay, who am I? Who do I want to be? How do I want myself to come across? But when you're in a religion where you're all abiding by the same rules, it's easy to be like, um, these are the rules and you will abide. Like,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's really easy to start pointing fingers and passing judgment and deciding that you know what's best for these people. They just need to comply. And gosh, that's hard. It's really hard to let people, um, I want to say make mistakes, but even if they're
Yeah.
not mistakes,
So
even if it's just
I know where I was going with it
make their
now.
decisions.
It was
Okay.
the judgments things, how like we all judge ourselves so harshly. And what I've been learning, I feel like, as like, I don't know, I've come to like accept myself for like whatever somebody else might deem flaws. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I honestly am like, I don't care about that anymore in a way. You know what I mean? Like it's like I look like what I look like. So being upset about it because somebody else might not like it is like that just sucks that society has ever even taught me that as like a thought process. You know what I mean? But like the
Yeah.
less I judge myself, the less I judge others. And I remember when I was
Mm-hmm.
very Mormon and held myself to standards, I was so much more judgmental because because these were the judgments I made for myself too. So then it was like
Mm-hmm.
obviously like it made them so much worse and it like skewed it in my brain and I can only see it now.
Yeah.
You know how I like, oh, that made me kind of a bitch at times for just
Mm-hmm.
like a superiority type thing or I don't know like and I always tried to think I was like above that but you can't be above it when you're judging yourself that way because you will judge everybody that way.
Yeah.
And what I think that has to do with like religion and stuff like that is like just that I lost it again. Was I keeping you by chance? So what happened
Um.
was the other first video we did finished like processing, so it popped up and I
Mhm.
had to like close it, and that was all it
Mhm.
took for me to completely lose my train of thought.
It's the ADHD brain that anyway.
Yeah.
No, for real. It's a thing.
Well, I mean, yeah, no, you're right. You're right because I sometimes I like to blame the weed because I think it's like, oh, I was just, but it's like, no, I do it all the time. It's me. It's okay. I mean, I
Well,
have a
I don't
lot of thoughts and sometimes they run over each other. Okay.
Mhm. Well, I don't know if we can authentically do a podcast on ADHD without like a diagnosis. I don't want to be like, I think maybe I possibly have it.
No,
We
no,
should
no,
be the
no.
experts on it. But I don't know. It's so cool. I love, 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 love learning about it because there's so many things that ping on
Okay.
like, oh, hey, there's that and there's that, and that's
I
why I do that.
haven't
It's
given
not
it
just
much
because
thought
I'm
until recently. Although
it's
I told you about how me
go.
and Thomas like had the discussions about how we thought we were like we had decided that we were just evolved humans, like the super senses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I've never thought of it as a negative, so I never like sought any type of like help for it. But I get what you're saying though. It's good to like
Yeah.
figure out what they've already figured out so you can help yourself, you know?
Well, the most entertaining way to start doing research is look it up on like TikTok because you get these little blips of people that are like, "Oh, I've been diagnosed and this is what it is." And there's a lot of ways you can be like, "That's me, that's me, that's me, that's me." It's
I spend
maybe
too
not
much
that.
time on TikTok as is, so I'll probably find that.
Okay, but it may not be the most like I don't know what the word is, authentically medically
Oh,
diagnosed
yeah,
things. It's just like people that are like, hey, this is what I've noticed in my own life.
yeah. I
And
don't
then
think
you
you
start
should go
doing the
to
research
TikTok for
and
your medical advice. I mean,
no,
even if it is a
you should not.
doctor, you still should talk to, I don't know.
Do it the right way.
I do
But if
follow some doctors like on YouTube though that
Mhm.
I think I could trust the things that they're saying. But I mean, I
or at
still
least
do
trust them for a
also have
kickoff
a
point.
doctor. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
But anyway, yeah, start looking and seeing if it connects on TikTok. And then if it does, I can send you like books and links and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
to actual research.
Okay,
But
no, that'd be cool.
anyway, that's
And then
great.
maybe we could do a podcast because we're not claiming any type of like we're just trying to figure it out and maybe we could talk about it like we could both look at it our own way and then see where we end up.
Yeah.
It could be fun and good for learning. um
Yep.
I had one more topic and it was cursing. What are your thoughts on cursing?
On cursing.
Yeah.
Well, as someone who grew up priding myself in never cursing, like I would like hardly ever, 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 ever curse. In fact, I still have my little card that I made when I was like 8 that said, "I will never take the Lord's name in vain," right? Sign my little name. I still have that. that's not a thing anymore. Um,
Mm,
I think it's really, really important to be able to control your language, like
mhm.
to know when
Yeah,
to use things, when not to use things, and to be able to speak coherently without using them.
I very much agree.
But if I smack my head into a cupboard, there is nothing that hits the spot like a good F-bomb. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know, like a like a well-placed curse
yeah,
word feels like it hits just a little deeper. So
I agree. I curse a little, maybe a
yeah,
lot. I I
that's
re-
okay.
I I feel like it's like seasoning for life, but I also agree that it's like all in like the timing. Like I don't think you should. I don't think mad cursing's great because anytime
Yeah.
you're mad, you're like that. It's a you thing. You're the one who's mad. Like regardless of the situation, you got to control your shit. So
Hmm.
like I have my times that I don't, but I'm like I don't have any of the old feelings I used to have associated with cursing. Like when I used to hear certain words, I had a physical response to it because I had
Yeah.
been indoctrinated to think
Conditioned.
like and told these are the words that you don't say. You know what I
Right.
mean?
These are
Like and
horrible words.
and you I don't even know if that made them more fun to say or anything either. So it's not like I was like, oh fuck, like I was never
Yeah.
that kid where I wanted to say it for that. Like it now I just think it's a great word. It's so
Do you know what?
versatile.
Do you know what I think of when I think of you and that word?
What? Oh, hey
W-
Haley?
No.
No?
No, but that's good too. That is good too.
Oh.
No, high school. We were in high school and we were in the hallway and somebody walked by and they're like, "Ah,
Uh-huh.
I just failed my fucking test." And you're like, "I didn't know they taught that here." Like,
I hadn't taken that course yet.
I
And
hadn't
neither
either.
and I wouldn't until I was married because I
Right?
was holy.
Exactly. Exactly. But I
I was
use that
fallen
though to
though.
be like, I need to be aware of what it is. Got my little thing here. I need to be aware of what it is that that I'm actually saying. Like, what do my words that are coming out actually mean? Like,
Oh
anyway.
man,
So I
I'm
do use
not.
that. Thank you
Sometimes
for the
I
life
will just,
lesson.
oh, you're welcome. I say words that aren't even words sometimes too. I just like, you know, I
Yeah.
don't know, like to I what was it the other day? Because Bella will laugh if I do it. Like there was a car in front of you, like you want to get mad at a car in front of you doing something like
Sure.
but I'll call them like stupid names. So it's like because I am a little angry, so I can't be like,
Yeah.
it's because really like we're just driving, whatever. Like everybody, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Everybody makes a
Nobody,
mistake here and there.
yeah, whatever. But I'll say like I think I called him a douche twaddle. Like that's not a thing. But
Yeah. Twat waffle's my favorite.
I like to like make up new combinations. Like they're just so fun. They're just words.
Do you know why that is? It's because we grew up Mormon and we had to be creative about our cursing for a long time because we
Oh yeah. Oh my heck,
we
we
did.
did. Oh, jeez,
Freaking heck.
friggin'
Freaking
heck.
heck. I still use
Oh
that.
man.
The crap. I used crap a lot. Like I would say, ah, crap. Do you remember
Yeah, and sometimes get
that
in trouble
story?
for it. Like it's
Yeah.
still not great.
Do you remember when my sister-in-law asked me not to say that?
No.
It was her. She was trying to get her kids not to say crap, right? Because in my family it was just like the word, like ah crap.
Uh-huh.
And my kids say it all the time because I don't think it's anything. So
Uh-huh.
um so we're over there, my kids are really little, we're over at my parents' house, and she comes to talk to me, far away from everybody else, and she's like, "Hey, listen, I'm really trying to get my kids not to say this word.
Mhm.
Is there any way your kids could like avoid saying crap when they're around my kids?" And I'm like, "Absolutely, I could do that. That's not
Oh
a big
yeah, I
deal."
bet you had fun with that.
Well, here's the thing though, I don't realize how ingrained it is because
Oh no.
in this sentence where I'm like, absolutely, I will make sure my kids don't say that. We will. Well, I pulled my kids in like right there, and I'm
Uh-huh.
like, hey, you guys, we can't say crap right now, right? And as I'm saying this, um, my family was there to get pictures taken, and we were
Uh-huh.
ready to get them done outside. I'd just gotten everybody ready, and we were all ready to go, and our pictures were outside. And I look up, and my daughter goes, "Hey, mom, it's raining outside." And I'm like, ah, crap. And I and I turned around, and my sister-in-law's like, thanks. Like,
Oh, that's awesome.
She's like, way to
It
control
was
yourself. Like I'm
it was
literally lecturing my kids on we're not gonna say crap. I'm like,
okay. I
ah,
know, but
crap.
why is that what you care about? What is
Well,
that doing for them as they grow up to
there's
teach them
little
what
things
the
I do
word
with my kids
I know,
though
but
that
teach them what the word means. And just
mhm,
kidding. This is me being preachy and saying I know what's right. She knows what's right for her
all
kids,
right.
whatever. But
Yeah.
I tend to disagree and think that just that my girls so far have always been allowed to say whatever they want to say. They don't overuse it. Although Haley's going through a little bit of a time right now, but we've told her like, hey, like now you're just using it like that's not okay.
Yeah.
And so she was like, okay, you're right. She's like, but I've never said it at school. I don't say it in anonymous. I don't say it. She's like, she has her space that she can, she's free to say whatever
Yeah.
she wants to say and, decide what she thinks of it. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I wanted to tell you a story though that I don't know if I've told you about the first time that Bella said fuck.
Keep
she,
going. Let me go.
she had to have been like, I don't want to say 4 or 5, and we went to a wedding. Um, and we were at the dinner portion of the wedding. We're at a table with people we don't know. And now I need to take you flashback. So we're at the table, but
Okay.
flashback to when Bella started being watched by Kimmy, our neighbor that we told you about. So
Yeah.
um as she got a little older, because Bella was with her since she was 2 weeks old. So once she gets to the age of talking, Kimmy was just like, oh my god, oh my god. That was her word, it just
Yeah.
it was like the for her and whatever. But because I grew up Mormon and we didn't say oh my god, I would never correct Kimmy, but when Bella would say it, I would say, like, don't say oh my god, say oh my goodness. And then it's so funny because then Bella started telling Kimmy, don't say oh my god, say oh my goodness. And it was just this really cute, funny thing. And then eventually
Yeah.
I was like, I don't feel the same way about that word now. So try not to say it around people who like it offends, but also I don't
Yeah.
care. But so that's how it was. But then so now flash forward to we're at this wedding. And this is the time that Bella decides there's this word that I need to know when it's
Pull it out
appropriate.
for the first time.
I need to know when it's appropriate to say this word, and I need to know it right now at this table with all these people we don't know. And she just goes, like, we're all
Of
talking. She
course.
stops and she goes, Mommy, is it oh my goodness or fuck? And I'm like, oh my goodness, baby. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Like
Oh.
she just thought that was the correction for all the bad words. So I guess she'd heard the word, she
Yeah.
heard it was bad, and then she was like, wait a minute, what about this one? Oh my goodness or fuck on this, can you give me the and I was just like, I'm so glad you decided to do that right now. Like
Right now.
it was
This
really
was the
funny.
appropriate
It was
place.
really funny. And thankfully the table was like they laughed about it and I
They're
just told
cool
them
with
like
it.
I was like, hey, like this is the why she just did that, but also who fucking cares?
My I think it'd be awesome if that happened. You'd be like, where did you learn that fucking word? Like, I don't know.
That's what you would have done. Oh, dang it all to crap and heck.
Dang it all to crap. No, I think I I feel like I need to know the crowd I'm with because it really does offend a lot of people. Like
Yeah.
to hear,
Yeah.
I don't know. If I
I
can
get
avoid
that.
using a word,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
can.
I guess
I
you
don't
you
mind.
could you could. I don't think I say it inappropriately. I'm not cursing at work. I don't go to church to
Yeah.
curse. I'm not cursing at the teller. You know what I mean? Like they're just words, but they're also words that like for me, I use them like kind of joyfully. I don't use them when I'm angry, but I'm like
It's good.
really I like because I don't know, like they're not fun anymore. You know what I mean? Angry curses
Yeah.
are like nothing about being angry is fun. It is just
Yeah.
figure out your shit and get
Just
over it. I
fury.
can't live in this place. Yeah.
Mhm. I understand that.
Yeah.
I get that totally.
So, I mean, I guess it's all about the person, the individual. If you just like anything
Mhm.
else, if you can't control yourself when you're angry or when you're drunk or when you're thinking, then I guess no, you're not allowed to do certain things. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yep. Control yourself or be controlled by the people around you, if that makes sense.
I think
But
so.
I tell my kids that when they're learning, like I'm like, well, there's certain things that like if you hit people when you're angry and you can't control yourself there, when you get older, other people will control you. You get arrested for doing stupid crap. And I
Mhm.
just realized my heater's still going. Can you hear this buzzing in the back? Have I just like ruined the whole podcast with the heater
I don't
buzzing?
hear it. I think I would have told
Okay.
you. I'd have been like, this has been great. I haven't heard a thing you said. There's just been a loud buzzing.
There's this buzzing. Yes. It's cold here. It's cold. It's fall. It made it
Oh,
to fall, and you guys made it to
I
hurricane season.
yeah. I am I miss fall a little for like just like, the briskness, but like I don't want to live in it. I just want to experience it for just like when I
I
want to
feel ya.
experience it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we'll have to come visit sometime when it's like that, because
Absolutely.
that's a good time out there, I think.
The-
Yeah,
yeah.
this hurricane season, knock on all the wood, has been non-existent for us so far.
That's so good.
Yeah, I know there is one hurricane right now, but I think it's going up through the middle of the ocean, bypassing the East Coast. Like
Should
I'm
be
sure we'll
okay. You'll
get
get a
some
little
like
rain.
yeah, like some band storms or whatever, but I don't know. Thankfully we live pretty inland too, like in central Florida. So it
Yeah.
doesn't feel like it's like a big thunderstorm, which I kind of enjoy. Like we've had a lot of
I do
rain and
too.
like thunderstorms. And it's funny because like not this isn't funny at all. It's factual. I've been like at work during the day, it's so loud, but I'll be like cleaning a patient and sometimes I'll have like the like aquarium on YouTube on and it has like kind of like a spa music. So it's like thunder and spa music.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, I don't know, I'm like, I want to take a nap right now. Like this is
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll get like my
but I'm
little cup
holding
of hot
sharp
chocolate.
instruments.
Probably shouldn't nap then.
Yeah. I
But
haven't
no,
done it
there's
yet.
just thunder and lightning outside and like
Yeah.
raindrops. I'll go sit on the back deck with a cup of hot chocolate and be like, if I was a talented writer, this is where I would do it. Like, but
Oh, I just like sitting
mm,
and watching it, just hanging out, having it as like an ambiance and then just hanging out.
it's pretty cool. Nature's amazing.
Yeah. All right. You got any more thoughts on your noggin today?
I got tons of thoughts, but we can add that or add there, stop there, and we can, talk another time
Oh
because
yeah. Yeah, because I
it's
probably
about that
gotta go
time.
pick up those kids from school. You don't have school on
Yeah.
Friday, right? I that
4 day
that's
school week,
another
man.
thing.
That's the way to
4 day school
go.
week, school
4 day
day,
work week.
4 day work week. Yeah, I like that's
I think
another
it's the way to go. I really do. I love
yeah.
it.
I mean, yeah, just with how much you said it's changed like for you guys. Like,
Yeah.
like I don't know. Another topic
It
for another day.
Okay.
All
Maybe,
right.
yeah, maybe we'll do that one
All
because
right.
it's awesome.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Love you.
Well, have an amazing week. I hope all good things happen this week.
Oh yeah, back at you.
Awesome.
Goodwill. Okay. Love you. Lilas.
Love you,
Talk to you
Lilas.
later. Okay.
See ya.
Bye.
Subscribe up there.
Subscribe.
There's a subscribe up there.
Okay.
Like the button.
Okay.